Even if you can't go outside to look for nests and other evidence that birds are living near you and in your neighborhood, there is also a really cool way that you can look at nests on the internet in places that are even really far away from where you live. There are things called nest cams, and the word cams is short for cameras. And scientists have set up video cameras safely above nests of different kinds of birds all over the world so that you can watch from your own home what's happening in that nest right this second. They're live. So that means that they're streaming, they're sending you the video right as it's happening. And I put together a few of my favorite bird nest cams to send you the links for, and I wanted to show you some of those. But there are lots of other ones that are on the internet on different websites too. So feel free with your family to go look for some other great nest cams also. And if you find one that's one of your favorites that's not on my list, send it my way because I would love to check out what the bird and the nest and maybe the baby birds are doing in the ones that you find too. But here, let me show you the ones that I'm going to send you the links for because they're pretty cool too. So one of the nests is a bald eagle nest that has a camera set up on it. And here is what's happening in the nest right now. Look, it's a baby eagle. That is a baby bald eagle. You can see how it's so fuzzy. When birds are born, they only have those fuzzy down feathers. And it's hanging out in its little nest. That's what it's doing right this second. Can you believe it? And do you see there's a little egg also next to it? I bet this one just hatched and it's now waiting for its brother or sister to hatch. I bet if you keep an eye on this nest cam over the next day or so, you might see that egg hatch too. That would be so exciting. And look at this wonderful little baby eagle just kind of getting to know its body for the first time. Its little tiny talons, its little tiny wing. Hello, little baby eagle. Happy birthday! Because this is the day of its birth. Wow. That is so wonderfully exciting. So that is one of the nest cams that I'm going to send you the link for so that you can keep your eyes on this wonderful little baby bald eagle and see if its brother or sister hatches. And then at some point, probably its mom and dad will come back to feed it too. So you might get a glimpse at them too. How cool. The another one that I'm going to send you the link for is for another bald eagle cam, but this one has babies that are grown up a little bit. So these are more juvenile bald eagles. These ones are getting ready to fly out of the nest soon and learn how to fly and be grown up eagles. So you can see that they don't have their white heads yet or their white tails because they're still juveniles. Remember, that means like a teenager bird. And bald eagles don't get their white heads and white tails till they're a couple of years old. So these ones are still juveniles, but they're a lot older than the ones in the last nest cam. And you can see this beautiful nest made with big branches and looks like some lichen and maybe some feathers from when they were babies, or maybe some feathers that the mommy and daddy birds used to make the nest fluffy and soft. So these two juvenile eagles have been named Jules and Rami by the group that set up the nest cam. So you can check out Jules and Rami and see if they get fed by their parents still and how they kind of learn to get used to their big grown-up bodies. Pretty cool, huh? Another nest cam. Let me turn off the sound on this one so that we can focus on this one. Another one is a puffin burrow. So puffins make their nests in cliffs, around rocks. And so this nest cam was set up right in the cliffs and rocks that these puffins are nesting in. And you can kind of see that it looks like this puffin may be sitting on a nest and this puffin's hanging out. Maybe that's the other parent or maybe just a neighbor puffin. So this is the puffin nest, and you can keep an eye on this. I don't know if this one has eggs yet. I don't think it has babies. I think we'd be seeing that, and I don't think the puffin would be sitting right in one place. So either the puffin's getting ready to lay eggs, or maybe they're already eggs. But either way, this will be a fun, different type of bird to watch. Oh, look, it just got up. Nope, I don't see any eggs yet. So maybe it's getting ready to lay eggs. So keep your eye on this over the next few weeks, and maybe you'll see when it lays eggs. And if you keep watching, maybe those eggs will hatch. So, hi, little puffins. They're pretty cool looking birds, huh? Another nest cam I'm going to send you the link for is for an osprey, which is one of my favorite birds. And we do have some of those around Seattle, even though that wasn't one that's in your bird tracker. And this one's in San Francisco, though. So this nest is in California, a different place from where we live. And this osprey built its nest, looks like up on a large construction crane or some sort of big construction or crane equipment. But you can see it's just hanging out there. I don't know if this one has eggs yet either, but you can keep your eyes peeled on it and look at this great view. And not only do you get to just watch to see what the birds do and if they have eggs or babies, but you get a really close, real scientist view of the nest and how they're made differently and all the materials that are in them. Pretty amazing. Another nest cam I'll send you the link for is for a red-tailed hawk. You should know that word because that is one of the birds that's in your bird tracker that you've been looking out for around Seattle. And so you can see in this nest cam the red tail really brightly. And looks like this red-tailed hawk found a little ledge or a fire escape on some building. You can see it's high above the parking lot somewhere. And so this red-tailed hawk is hanging out in the nest it built. I don't know if this one has eggs yet either, so you'll have to keep an eye on it and see if it ever gets up, and you can kind of see what's underneath it. Another one that I'll send you the link for is a barred owl. We also have barred owls in Seattle. They're one of the most common owls we have. And this nest cam, I should have warned you, I'm sorry, it's a little gruesome because remember, owls eat little animals like squirrels and mice. So this owl has some leftover squirrel meat that it was eating in its nest. And it looks like you can only maybe see the booty of this owl, the tail feathers and the back. But oh, look it! It's a little owl chick. Do you see it? The little fluffy white chick under there? So this barred owl sure has some babies already. So if you if you keep watching this nest cam, you'll get to watch them grow up. Look at that little tiny owl baby. Oh, hi little baby. Welcome to this world. Oh, it's taking a nap on the dead squirrel. I guess baby owls have different kinds of pillows than we do. Hi, little baby owl. Look at that teeny tiny beak that will someday be sharp enough for ripping its own meat. Aww. What a sweet little owl. So keep your eyes on this nest cam to watch these baby owls grow up. And then another nest cam is this one, and this one is another osprey, similar to the other osprey nest we were watched. But this osprey has some babies that are really active right now. And so I want to send you this one too. You can see those little babies going, chirp, 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 feed me, feed me. And the mama or the daddy is trying to get some nice food coming up from its own belly to feed the baby birds. Regurgitation, that's what that's called, where the mom or dad eats the food and then brings it back up out of its stomach. It's not really throwing up, but it's similar. It's taking some of the food that it swallowed a little bit and bringing it back for the babies, because the babies need it nice and soft, kind of like humans need soft baby food, because the babies don't have the same kinds of sharp beaks or tummies yet to digest big chunks of meat yet. So that's why the mommy and daddy birds have to make it nice and soft from their own stomachs to bring up for the babies. So this is another great osprey nest cam. Right now the parent bird's kind of blocking the babies a little bit, but they move around all the time. So you'll get to see them in different views. It looks like this parent is maybe ripping up some sort of meat or fish. Ospreys usually just eat fish. So maybe it's trying to rip up some fish to put into its mouth to soften to then feed the babies. How cool. The nest is beautiful too. All these branches and lichen. Hello, sorry to interrupt you. Don't worry, they can't really hear us. And then one of the other final nest cams, there's two more, is this albatross nest cam, and this one's in New Zealand, and that's on the almost the other side of the world. So sometimes when you try to watch this one, it might be nighttime on that side of the earth, but right now it's at least still light enough for us to see. And there's an albatross. That's a baby albatross, if you can believe it. It is so big already because albatrosses are one of the biggest birds. They have one of the biggest wingspans of any bird in the world, and so the babies are already pretty big. And this baby is just hanging out in its nest. See, its nest looks a lot different than all these other birds. They don't build, albatrosses don't build a whole big round structure. They mostly make it just a kind of a little dent with some grasses on a big grassy field or grassy hillside. So this baby albatross is just hanging out. Look at that beautiful big beak. Wow. So I think this one's just waiting for its parents to come back and feed it some food. Ooh, getting its practice wings out, ready to learn how to fly someday soon. So you can keep an eye on this one too. Maybe you'll see the parent albatrosses come back and feed the baby and watch the baby grow up. And then last but not least, the final nest cam we have is a little bird in where is this one? Bermuda. There's a bird called a cahau. And so this one has its nest in kind of a cliff edge. And so they had to go into the hole in the cliff and set up the camera before the babies were born and before the nest was being used. And so that's why it's black and white, because they have a special little light in there that helps it light up, but there's not so much light so that you can see the colors and stuff. But this little fuzzball right in the middle is a baby bird. And so it looks like it's sleeping right now, but keep an eye on this nest cam too, and maybe you'll see it move around and grow up and maybe see the parents come back through that tunnel. That's the tunnel that they come in and out of into the cliff. So that would be a pretty cool thing to see too. Oh, there it is. There's the little baby waking up. Looks like it's preening its feathers, cleaning itself off, smoothing them down. All right, you can go back to sleep. Good night, little fluff ball. So those are the nest cams that I'm going to send you the links for. So you can watch all those baby birds start to grow up. You can watch some of the ones that are still eggs, maybe hatch really soon. And you can watch some of the birds that don't even have eggs yet, lay their eggs and then incubate them, sit on them to warm them, and then have them hatch. So what's cool about all those nests is that they're at different stages of development. So you can watch different parts of the life cycle of those different types of birds and compare all the different ways that those parent birds raise their young and what they feed them and what they have to build their nest with. So I hope you enjoy those nest cams. If you find any others that you really like, send them my way.